Hello, welcome student. So today we are going to start a new chapter of your class 7 science. It is chapter number 6. Okay. So what is the name of our chapter? That is the physical changes and chemical changes. Or you may also call the physical and chemical changes. Okay. So student, here before this class we have already learned about the physical property and the chemical property. Okay, so now in this chapter we are learning about the physical changes and the chemical changes. Okay, students. So let's learn about first the physical changes. Okay, so let's let the term the physical changes. First we take an example. Okay, suppose take the example of the water. So student, so what is the state of the normal water? At normal room temperature, the water is present at liquid state. Okay, which we drink. That water is present in liquid state. Okay, so whenever we kept this a bottle of water inside a refrigerator, inside a fridge, whenever we place a bottle of water, then it turns into ice. Okay, after a longer period of time, the water turns into ice. So what is the state of the ice? Is the ice liquid? Is the ice gas? Or is the ice solid? Yes, the state of the ice, that is your solid. So student, here the water which is present in liquid form that turns into the solid form, and the water turns into the substance that is called ice. Is the ice is always remain as ice? Okay. Here is your solid. Okay. So after some time you have seen that the ice is again turned into the water, which is also returned into its liquid state. Okay. So whenever we freeze the water, turns into ice. Okay, but after some time the ice again will turn into the water. So student, this change is it temporary or permanent? Yes, the changes which occur at here is a temporary. Okay. Okay, so the changes which will be occurred by we freeze the water, it form ice, and after some time the ice again turn into the water. So these changes is called your temporary changes. After that, what in this process is anything new substance will be evolved here? Any new substance will be produced? No any type of new substance is produced in this type of changes. But only the state of the substance is changed, that is liquid to solid. Okay, so in this process no new substance will be evolved. Okay, to take another example, if some water, the water which is present in liquid form, if we warm it, then we become cold it. When we warm it, okay, when we warm it by the application of, when we fire it, whenever we warm it, then it turns into vapor. Okay, during the cooking you have seen that the various gases are they were moved upward. Okay, that are called your vapor, which is in the form of gas. Okay, so whenever we place a cap on the vapor, then after some time all the vapor are also turned into the same water. Okay, so here also the water changes into gas, but the liquid changes into gas, but after some time the vapor also turned into the water. In this process also, it is also a temporary process, and in this process there is no new substance will be evolved. Okay, so these types of changes is called the physical changes. Only the physical property of the substance will be changes. Okay, so the physical changes are the temporary changes. Okay, and in this process no new substance will be evolved, and they are the reversible process. So what is a reversible process? Okay, I can draw in a simple form. That is, what is a reversible process? So here is water turns into ice, and also ice turn into water. Yes, water may be ice or ice may be converted into water. Okay, so by combining these two equations we can write that here we can change this arrow mark into such like a mark that is here, and this mark suggests that the water can be converted into ice and ice can be converted into water. Okay, so this type of reaction is called your reversible reaction. Okay, and those suppose the water can only be changed into ice, and we use arrow mark. Here the ice can be also turned into water, so we can use a reversible mark, and this type of reaction is called your reversible reaction. And the physical changes are the reversible changes by which it also brings into its original position or original place. So student, from all of the discussion we can easily write the definition of the physical changes. Okay, so what is the definition? The physical changes are the any temporary changes, okay, in which no new substance is formed. Okay, so those type of changes we act for such a temporary changes, and in those changes no new substance will be formed. That changes is called your physical changes. Okay, so let's discuss about the characteristics of the physical changes. Okay, what are the characteristics of the physical changes? Okay, the first thing, it changes. The physical change means it changes its physical property. Okay, so what is the physical property? That may be it changes in its shape, in its size, and in its state. Okay, there are three states, that is solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, so whenever during some physical changes the size of the substance becomes small or the size of the substance becomes bigger also, and the shape also during the physical changes the shape of the object may be changes. Okay, and that may be converted into, if the substance is present in solid form, that can be converted into liquid form, and the liquid substances can also be formed, it changes into gaseous form. Okay, so these types of changes will be occurred during the physical changes. After that, in this process no changes in the chemical composition of the substance. Okay, so what is that? Suppose the water, okay, water which is present in liquid form. Okay, so the chemical composition of water, that is your H2O. Whenever this water is converted into gas, okay, that is your water vapor. Okay, so whenever the water converted into water vapor, then also its chemical composition is present H2O. Okay, there is no changes in the chemical composition or any type of chemical property of the substance. After that, no new substance will be formed. Okay, here the water which will always remain as water, no new type of substance will be formed in this process. After that, it is a temporary, it is act as a short span of time. Okay, so the water vapor is not always being water vapor, it is present in this gaseous form for a short period of time. After some time it also return into its original position, that is liquid position. Okay, after that it may be reversible. Okay, the physical changes always not be reversible. In some cases it will be reversible. That means the vapor, the water changes into water vapor, and water vapor can be also turned into water. Okay, so this is is all about the physical changes and the characteristics of the physical changes. Okay, student, here we complete the discussion about the physical changes of the substance. Now time to discuss the chemical changes of the substance. Okay, so just learn about that. The chemical changes of the substance. I have not erased all these things because I try to give a comparison between the physical changes and the chemical changes. Okay, so first take some example. So student, you have may think you have all everyone have one many name various fire. Okay, just take a wood. Okay, take a piece of wood. Okay, and burn the fire. Okay, and burn it. After some time, you will be observed that at a result of this, you can get a large amount of heat when you burn a fire on a wood stick. Then you get heat and also get light. After some time, if the wood is completely burned, then it also left charcoal. Okay, student? You all these type of things will have. Whenever we take example of paper sheet also. When you burn a paper sheet, as a result, it removes some gas also. Okay, some gas and smoke also. It gives some smoke and it produces some heat and produce some light and also give the residue that may be your just like charcoal. Okay, so all these type of things will be formed. Okay, can you combine all these things and again from the wood? Okay, can we do it? No. Whenever we burn a wood, after the burning of the wood, we cannot again get back the wood, same wood again. We cannot get back the wood. Okay, so this type of changes is the permanent changes. Okay, it cannot be act for some time. It will be the permanent changes. As a result of that, many things will be emerged from that type of reaction. Here, can you able to combine the gas, light, and heat and the charcoal to form a wood? No. This type of reaction are the permanent reaction, and in this reaction, various new type of substance will be formed. Okay. Take the example of the food also. Whenever we eat variety of food, after the eating of those food, the digestion of the food is taking place, and as a result of that, we got energy. Okay, so can we able to reproduce the same food from our mouth? Okay, so student, we are not able to restore the digested food in the same. Okay, so these examples are the example of the chemical changes. Okay, so can we able to write the definition of the chemical changes? Yes. That chemical changes are the temporary changes? No, they are the permanent changes. Okay, which are the permanent changes in which no new substance means in which new substance is formed or new substance is or are also. Okay. So chemical changes are the changes, these are the permanent changes, and in which some new substances will be formed. Okay, you can easily compare the physical changes and the chemical changes. As a result, the physical changes are the temporary changes, but the chemical changes is permanent changes, and the physical changes have no new substance will be formed, but in chemical changes, some new substances will be formed. Okay. After that, let's just compare the another property of the chemical changes. It may be reversible. Yes or no? Chemical changes are the reversible. No, chemical changes are the non-reversible. That means they cannot be comes into its original position after the chemical changes. So they are the non-reversible changes. After that, these are the temporary changes. No, they are the permanent changes. Okay, these are the permanent changes. After that, no new substance will be formed. No, some new substance will be formed in the process of chemical reaction. After that, no changes in the chemical composition. Yes, some changes will be done in the chemical composition of the some of the substance that goes into the chemical changes. Student, now we are going to learn about the next type of thing, that is chemical reaction. Okay, this is related to the your chemical changes. Okay, so those substances which are going for a such chemical changes, and that chemical changes is represented in the form of chemical reaction. Okay, so what will be happen in the chemical reaction? Okay, suppose take the example of the your production of salt. Okay, the process of formation of the salt. Okay, so how the salt is formed? Whenever an acid it react with base, it form salt and water and also produce heat. Okay, so what have we done at here? Here, this is one substance, this is one substance. Okay, so this one and this one, these two substances are we come in contact with each other and they react to form a new substance. Okay, this is called your chemical reaction. Okay, so what happens in the chemical reaction? In this process by which two or more substances react with each other and form various new substances. Here we see that acid is substance and base is substance. Here these two substances are come together and react with each other and form these various new product. Okay, so this type of reaction, this type of process is called the chemical reaction. Okay, so here this is the arrow mark which separate the both side, your left hand side and the right hand side. Okay, so here the left hand side and the right hand side. The right hand side are called your reactant. Okay, and the left hand side is called your product. Okay, so these are the reactant which may react with each other to produce a product. Okay, and there is an arrow mark which separate the reactant and the product. This is the normal or the general formula or general structure of a chemical reaction. So let's learn about the different type of chemical reaction. Okay, so here the combustion is a one type of chemical reaction. We are going to be discuss about the combustion. Okay, so what happens in the process of combustion? The normal sense of combustion is burning. Okay, the simple meaning of the combustion is burning. Okay, student. So what is burn? How the burning will become? Whenever some burnable substances or the combustible substances come into the contact of oxygen and it produce heat and light, the process is called your combustion. Okay, to take the example of the strip of magnesium. Okay, the strip which will form from the magnesium. Whenever a strip of magnesium form into the contact with oxygen, then it form a bright glowing flame and also it produces some heat. As a result, it also from magnesium oxide. Okay, student. So whenever Mg stand for magnesium and O2 stand for oxygen, and here is your magnesium oxide. Okay. So whenever magnesium react with oxygen, it form magnesium oxide. Or whenever magnesium goes under combustion, it form magnesium oxide. if we take the magnesium oxide, which is a basic acid, if we again treat the magnesium oxide with water, okay, so take the magnesium oxide again, magnesium oxide whenever treated with water, then it form magnesium, okay. So here MgO means your magnesium oxide. Whenever magnesium oxide is treated with water, it forms magnesium hydroxide. Okay, this is a basic substance which is basic in nature. Okay, so the metal which will react with oxygen will form an oxide. In this process, the light and heat will be produced. Okay. So student, take the another type of you discuss another type of chemical reaction, that is your neutralization. Here we have already learned about the neutralization at the chapter of acid, base and salt. Okay, so take an example of your vinegar plus baking soda. Okay, and what will be formed? The simple. Okay, I will also first write the equation of this one. So here take the neutral, that is your CH3COOH, that is your acetic acid, which is the formula of your vinegar. Okay, and now come the next, your baking soda. So what is the formula of baking soda? The sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is your sodium hydrogen carbonate, NaSCO3 is the formula for the baking soda. Okay, so whenever you have the two reactant, that is your vinegar and baking soda, CH3COOH acetic acid and NaSCO3, that is your sodium hydrogen carbonate. Here this is the acid and this is the base. Okay, so whenever we have learned the process of neutralization, what will be formed in the process of whenever we adding acid and base, it will be formed salt and water along with some heat. Okay, so what will you form at here? So in this reaction, for CH3COO brings this Na to form CH3COO Na. Okay, after that this CO3, from this CO3 it will emerge, that CO2 will emerge, and this hydrogen the one oxygen, they will be formed. Okay, so this type of reaction will occur. Here the name of this substance is your sodium acetate. Okay, this is the salt and here is the water, and this carbon dioxide is released with some heat. Okay, so this type of reaction is called your neutralization reaction, because here the acidity or the acidic property of the vinegar and the basic property of the vinegar, your baking soda, will be mixed with each other and they form a neutral substance, that is your sodium acetate, and they neutralize each other. Okay, so this reaction is called your neutralization reaction. Okay, so student, next type of reaction, that is your rusting. Okay, you have commonly seen that the term that is rusting, the iron is become rust. Okay, so whenever we place a substance which is made up of iron into our atmosphere during the rainy season, after some days you have observed that some various rods are acting upon the surface of the your iron. So how the rusting is done? Here the rusting is mainly done upon the iron. Okay, the formula of iron is your ferric, that is Fe. Okay, so whenever iron come into the contact with oxygen and also in the contact with water, okay, not only the your water, it also whenever it contact with the vapor, that is the combustion of both oxygen and water, whenever iron come to the contact of both oxygen and water, it form an iron oxide, that is Fe2O3 and plus some water. This is your rust. Yes, this is your iron oxide. Here is iron. This is your oxygen, and this is your water. Okay, so whenever iron comes into contact with oxygen or water, it suffers from rust. That is, you produce an iron oxide, and the rust is act upon its outer surface. Okay, as a result of that, the property of the iron become decreases, and after longer time, the whole iron will be totally damaged, and the utensils which are made up of iron also they become useless. Okay, so out of the 15% of the total products, world production of the iron become rusting day by day. Okay, so rusting is a very negative impact upon the iron product. Okay, so how can we protect the rusting? Okay, how can we protect the iron from the rusting? Okay, so by coating with various oil, various color and grease. Okay, so to protect it from the rust, to protect the iron from the rust in our home also, the door which are made up of iron, we have coloring them in various things. We have protect with a layer of color, that will be layer of oil. Okay, so by covering this layer, by covering them with a layer of color, oil or grease, they will be not in contact with the oxygen and water. As a result, they will be saved from this type of rust for a longer period of time. After that, there is a process called galvanization. So what is a galvanization? Okay. So in this process, what will be done? A layer of zinc. Okay. Zinc is also a metal which is inert toward your rusting, that is your oxygen and water reaction. Okay, so in this process of galvanization, a layer of zinc will be placed upon the materials which is made up of iron, and to prevent from the rusting. After that, a new process is there, that is called tinning. Okay. So what is tinning? Tinning is a process at where a layer of tin will be covered by a layer of tin that cover the iron to protect from the rust. Okay, so there are the three major processes by which we can able to protect the iron from the rust. That is by covering them with a layer of oil, a layer of color, or layer of grease. After that, the process of galvanization, that is to cover the iron with a layer of zinc, then the tinning to cover the iron with a layer of molten tin. Okay, so by the following this type of step, we can easily preserve the product of iron. So here, just let's discuss the displacement reaction. Okay, so this type of reaction we have already learned in the chapter of metals, non-metal and non-metal. Okay, so here that we have learned about the activity or reactivity series, and that the numbers of metals will be serialized in a series of manner, and where those substances we have placed at top, they are called the most reactive metal, and those present at the bottom, they are called the less reactive metal. Okay, so the reactivity series is present in a decreasing manner of the reactivity power. Okay, so here the potassium has the maximum reactivity. After that, sodium that is lower than the potassium, and the calcium which poses less reactivity from these two one. In this way, the reactivity series, in the reactivity series, most of the metals are present, right? Okay, so how the displacement in the displacement reaction, the role of the reactivity series will be important. Here we discuss. Okay, so take the example, that is copper sulfate CuSO4. Okay, here the copper sulfate is a solution. Okay, where the copper sulfate solution is react with a solvent, that is okay. Here you just focus that the copper is here and the iron is here. In between those copper and iron, which is most reactive? Those substances which is present at the upper part, that is most reactive. Here iron is present at the upper part, so iron is more reactive and copper is less reactive. So due to the iron is more reactive, so here iron extract the additional part of the copper and they form a new type of compound, that is your FeSO. Okay student, so here the Fe displaces the acyl solution from the copper sulfate to form a new product, that is your Fe or iron sulfate, and release the, okay. So in this process what happens in the displacement reaction? The highly reactive metal extract or displace some other component from the other solution to form their own solution. Okay, this type of reaction is called your displacement reaction. Okay student, so now next learn about the next type of chemical reaction, that is your decomposition reaction. Okay, so what the name of the decomposition means, a substance which is present at the first stage, they decompose and totally assimilate into, they split into different other substances. Okay, so general reaction of this reaction is, suppose AB is a compound which is goes under chemical changes and they form two substances A and B, which is two separate substances. Okay, so this type of reaction is called your decomposition reaction. Suppose take an example of this type of reaction. Suppose your ammonium chloride, that is your NH4Cl, which is your, take the example of the your compound. Suppose AB, let's say your ammonium chloride, your NH4Cl. Suppose here AB is there, suppose it is a compound that is NH4Cl. Whenever NH4Cl goes under the chemical changes, it forms two compounds like A and B. Here we form your NH3, that is your ammonia, and HCl, your hydrochloric acid. Which stand for NH3 stand for ammonia, and HCl know that hydrochloric acid. Okay, so here NH4Cl is a compound which undergo decomposition reaction, it split into two compounds, that is ammonia and hydrochloric acid. Okay, so we can also take another example, that is calcium carbonate, CaCl. Okay, this is the example of calcium carbonate, CaCl3 is your calcium carbonate. Okay, so whenever calcium carbonate also undergoes decomposition reaction and form calcium oxide and also release CO2, that is your carbon dioxide. Here CO2 is your calcium oxide and it is your carbon dioxide. It is also similar to here AB is present, CaCO2 present in AB form, and CO is your A and CO2 is your B. Okay, here CaCO2 is split into CO and CO2. Okay, so this is the example of the decomposition reaction. Okay, so next type of chemical reaction, that is your crystallization. Okay, so what is the crystallization? Crystals are the purest form of a substance whose atoms or molecules are well arranged in a particular geometrical pattern. Okay, so what are the crystals? Crystals which are well dissolved inside of any solution. Whenever we evaporate the liquid portion of the substance mixture, then the real crystal will be even. And the crystals are the purest form of the substance in which atoms or molecules are well arranged in such a special geometrical structure. Suppose take the example of the formation of the salt from the seawater. Okay, so in the seawater, the salt solution or the salt particles are present in a dissolved form of the solution. Whenever we evaporate the seawater, then the crystals of the salt will be remain at the surface. Okay, so this is the process where we can obtain the crystals of salt from the seaweed. Here we conclude all the discussion about your physical and chemical changes of the chapter number 6. Okay, thank you student. Have a good day.